It's saying live, but it's not doing anything. It's saying live, but it's not doing anything. Sorry. Oh, there it is. It's good. I'm good. Sorry if you can hear us. We're trying to figure this out. We're new to this.
All right, guys. I think we're live. Everything's good.
Okay, so welcome. Thank y'all for coming tonight. I'm Val. I've been with Massey's for 8 years now. A lot of y'all probably have never seen me. I work in the Covington store. So I am now going to be the person that is going to be running Fish Pics. It's kind of been thrown in my lap, so I am figuring it out as I go. So we have started some things. I've teamed up with Austin and Jonathan about trying to make the 2022 season a lot better and trying to work on some improvements. So the tournament we're going to start actually, the sign up for it is going to start tonight. So it's live. You can sign up for it conventional or fly. It's going to start actually March 10th and run till February 28th. So the normal times with everything. It actually coincides right before, what's the tournament? Paddlepalooza, thank you. So that y'all can get a little bit of your practice fishing, not the proper word, pre-fishing in before you do it and then do Paddlepalooza. The rules, y'all give them another look. Some of y'all, when I was looking at your pictures, forgot your identifier. Your hands might have not been where they needed to be. I let a lot of things slide the last few that I've done because we've kind of dropped the ball on actually doing things. So next time I'll be a little bit more strict about some of the rules and actually what you're supposed to be doing. So kind of familiarize that. They're on the website and they're on Tourney X. There's 2 changes that you'll need to make a note of. One, it's now $5.50. That's because PayPal went up, so they had to go up. I know, 50 cents is going to break you. So there's a little bit extra on that. The other thing is last year, you either had to have we don't have the token this year. We're making a little plastic business card kind of thing. Same thing. If you don't have that, we had one identifier that was generic. This year, we're going to do it where you're going to have your own individual one. So once you log in and you sign into it, it's going to be on the app and that's going to be your specific one. So you can have it on your phone, you can write it on your hand, you can write it on your board, but that will be your one. And then that way it's less problems in the long run or anything like that. Prizes for next year, we've already kind of gotten that squared away. For conventional, if you are the first place winner, you have 2 options. One is a Hobie Compass 2022. The other option is some of y'all have nice boats and don't want that. So you will get a Massey's gift card for $2,500. Second place will be a $1,000 Massey's gift card. And third place will be a $500 Massey's gift card.
Everything the gift card is good for.
Oh, it's good for anything. So the Massey's gift cards can be used at Massey's. If you want to buy a different boat with it, if you want to buy clothes with it, whatever we carry at Massey's, you can use the gift card for. If you want to buy a bike with it, that's fine. So the big fish, it will be a $300 gift card. We're kind of changing it up. If you win the overall and you have a big fish, you don't get to win both. It goes down to the next person to be fair and give more people chances to win. Fly fishing, since we don't have that many people in it, the minimum is going to be a $500 gift card to Massey's. If we see that there's a lot more people starting to register and do the fly fishing, I will amend that and change it. I think that's it. It was pretty basic. It's pretty the same. I'm going to try to start posting weekly, depending on how much y'all are submitting. If y'all aren't really submitting a whole lot and not a whole lot changing, I'll just say, hey, there's not a whole lot and start harassing y'all to start fishing more. That's pretty much it with Fish Pics. I'm basic and to the point.
Yeah, so we'll have the tournament go live
Tonight.
People can sign up. We're gonna create a Facebook group with that Tourney X link and everything else. Send that out to everybody so everybody's aware of that. All the rules will be posted there. So if y'all have any questions about the rules or anything, don't be afraid to ask. Reach out to us. We'll clarify anything and everything y'all need. Any questions for Val in regards to Fish Pics? So for this year's tournament, it ends February 28th, and then we'll have the award ceremony April the 2nd on Bayou St. John.
Yes.
And the Fish Pics for this year will start March 10th, so right before Valentine's Day.
Correct. Thank you.
So any further questions or anything y'all have? Anybody from online have any questions? Butch was asking, can we review the current standings for this year?
I'm going to try to post them either tonight, depending on what time I get home, or tomorrow morning.
All right.
Not a whole lot has changed since the last time I posted it. The kids is the only one that has changed, the youth.
Okay, so youth is the only one that's changed. I think Butch and Chuck are recent.
Yes,
Points
they're pretty close.
So I know both of y'all are excited about
Because
that.
there's so many people at 21 inches that it ties down, he has to go above them because they entered the fish first. So he's got to score higher than them. One shot. Already calculated. So I'm gonna have to catch him in two. I'm gonna have to catch him in, so it's impossible for him.
Somebody said,
I feel like that's a challenge,
So
Butch.
I'll be out before
He's
first
saying
shot,
it's
one shot
impossible.
first, next 4 days.
somebody said, thanks for putting it on again this year at Massey's.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I think we'll be on tournament X, like the standings, that we update.
So the standings on Tournament X are a little bit different than the way we do the standings on Massey's. So it's pretty close, but there is a little bit of a difference because we do an individual point system and they do it off of size. I questioned that, but that's how it's always been done. And then so I just said, okay, because it's easier to just go off the Tourney X. But if you look at the Tourney X, it's pretty close. There's only a few of them where like somebody is in third on Tournament X and they may be in fourth when it comes to the Massey's.
Yeah, so we'll be posting very regular updates
Yes.
on point standings. 30X is a good indicator of what's going on, but not necessarily the end all be all of the standings. And Butch said he's fishing the next 6 days straight, so he's having a great job.
That's fine.
I like this.
I'm gonna be sitting over water.
He's got all 4 fish.
All 4 fish now.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's prizes for each of the 4 individual fish, plus overall 1, 2, 3 for conventional, and then first place for fly. Hopefully we get some more participation for that. We get that.
They're out there. They just need to sign up.
All right. I don't see any other questions at this point. Last call. Any other questions for Fish Pics or anything else?
What species?
So it's largemouth bass, speckled trout, redfish, and flounder. And then for the fly division, I believe it's sheephead
Yes.
in place of the flounder.
Correct.
So when does the identifier come out?
That is
Like
it.
a week before.
It'll be live. So when you sign up for the tournament, when you sign in, is it not popping up? Okay, so it probably won't pop up until March 10th. whenever
The identifier-
it starts.
Yes, I will get a good answer for you on when it's going to come
No,
in.
it's okay. I mean, I just registered, that's the first number.
Okay.
If it's
Then
a
put your phone on top of the fish with you. Never mind, it's an April food.
As long as the identifier that is to you is in the picture, you're good. Let's see.
The business card, that's many of us already have the catch for flip up.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a couple other questions that came up. One question was, will there be a physical token again this year?
We're not going to do the token. There was some good and bad with it. So we're going to actually it's going to look more like a credit card, a little bit thicker. So it's plastic with the same thing in mind, that the token I heard was a little bit big on the board or they got lost a little bit. So we're going to try something a little bit thinner and see how this works.
And it can already fit inside of the catch board, or is that many of us already have?
Yes.
But that card does not have to be present. You
Correct.
can have just whatever your individual code is written.
Correct. It's one or the other. So either the card or your individual code written somewhere on there.
Okay. And then there was another question: what measuring boards are approved, same as last year?
Correct.
Yes to that. I think there is one amendment we might have to make is to allow the 3-2-1 ruler for the really big bull reds.
I would like that. I measured somebody's the other day and it didn't fit. And I was like, well, that's silly because I want to give you your extra and it didn't. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with that if we amend that.
Okay, yeah, so we'll make that change, but basically it's the same deal. Catch boards with the exception of the hingeable 48-inch one, the kayak elite board from Check It Stick, and the hog trough, and then we'll amend it and put in the I think it's the 3-2-1 with the big.
So we keep it high.
No, that is the IFA one. It's the 3-2-1. It's like that 40-inch sticker basically that you put on.
I have it on boards.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
still kick.
So that would be acceptable.
Because it only goes to 45.
Right.
And I know in the past, that term, people caught fish big at 45. And they can stick it on 45.
Right.
Which is crazy.
That's why I'm missing.
You imagine catching fish on 45.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions or anything else? All good.
I'm turning it over to Terry.
All right. So Terry Pham with Massey's and Hobie is going to get up and talk to us a little bit. Open Q&A. We'll see what we can extract from him. See if we can find some of his honey holes. But I don't know if he's pretty tight lipped.
How's everybody doing? My name is Terry Pham. I'm a Hobie team member for Massey's, and I'm just giving you guys a few tips today. For the 2022 Massey's Fish Pics. Kind of where and what time of the year to catch the bigger species. For bull reds, I would go, Grand Isle around August area. You can fish the pass. Pretty much anywhere in the pass, they're usually running. That's usually a good time for bull reds. For flounder, I would go October and November. I would do Highway 23 or Highway 1. Highway 1, you can usually hop off on the side of the road anywhere, and most of the time you'll find them on the side of the road. You just gotta. It's a little trickier fish, but once you figure out how to target them and catch them, that's really the main key is how to target them. For trout, surf fishing's real good in Grand Isle around May. You usually catch big trout then. And even right now, you can catch big trout in Grand Isle, especially when the cold fronts come through. They're always on the side of the road. You catch big trout just on the side of the road. You just put your kayak in the water and catch them. And bass, I usually like to fish around February, March, kind of a little spawning time. I've caught big bass in local canals. Bayou St. John has some good bass. You go Delacroix, Bayou Bevenue. All those areas, have good bass fishing there. So.
Josh Lewis posted and he said, "I don't trust anything Terry says."
Hey, we can't give out all the secrets, but I could just help you with what I could.
Yeah. So what are some of the tournaments this year that you're looking forward to maybe trying to double dip between the Bayou Coast Championship Series tournament and Massey's Fish Pics? Because the Fish Pics runs year round.
Correct. So definitely always sign up for Massey's Fish Pics. And always have the identifier on you because, don't get me wrong, there's times where you'll catch that big fish in a certain species, like, that you wouldn't think you would catch at that time of the year. So definitely always have it on you. But, usually just about every tournament, Bayou Coast does set up, they usually target the correct fish for that time of the year, so that's kind of a good, good thing that they do. It's all right. That's probably Butch on there.
No, so that's good. So if for instance, I guess, so if we wanted to look after trying to catch a flounder, you said like fall time would be good. So fall in time for that.
Correct.
Maybe Palapalooza coming up in a couple weeks here. It looks like we've already seen some people post pictures of flounder being caught, so they're definitely around. Trout. What about big trout this year? What tournaments would you be looking at trying to maybe catch a big trout on top of tournament dinner?
So I don't know the dates exactly on the tournaments you guys have. It's not coming up on top of my head. But most likely, if I was to pick, it would probably be Trout Challenge, just because, you know, you got, like I said, you guys usually pick a good enough area to catch your best bet.
Someone asked, for springtime fishing, what would be 3 go-to lures? Wow.
Springtime, personally, me, I always keep a top water. You know, top water, I've seen where certain fish, they'll eat top water and they won't eat anything else. You know, I always keep a top water. I like the jerk bait, and I always have, you know, the fam special, the 4 horsemen pork and gold.
Someone asked if 4 horsemen porks are allowed. They're most definitely allowed in the footage. And then a follow-up question: how do you choose what color gulp to throw onto that 4 horsemen?
The only color I throw is a chartreuse. That's it. That's my go-to. Chartreuse curly tail.
If it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use.
Yep.
So are there any other certain weather conditions that you would choose to fish top, middle, bottom? Like, how would you dictate based on weather or how to fish certain species?
So, you know, weather-wise, if it's windy, sometimes I'll try to throw top water for a little while in the morning, if, you know, because there's times where I've caught them on top water, you know, in windy conditions. But if it's, you know, trout fishing, if it's windy, I'll either jig or try, you know, a shrimp imitation sometimes under the cork. And that works. Or, you know, you put a swim bait under the cork, stuff like that, you know.
Any questions from the crowd?
So since you're a Hobie representative in some way, would you guys will you vote, and will you help us with mechanical failure during the tournament?
Before a tournament, I'll help you, you know. But, I mean, it is always good to have, you know, tools or extra sail mast. You know, I always keep extra sail mast in my kayak. You know, you keep a little crescent wrench and a quarter Allen wrenches you need, you know, depending on what drive system you have. You know, I mean, I don't keep any spare cables too much, just because I keep an eye on them, and, you know, I always rinse my products and, you know, spray a oil base on there just to keep it from rusting, you know, with the salt water. But definitely, like sail mast, stuff like that, it's always good to keep on hand for sure.
It's in practice, I'll tell you that. Available service for club members.
Some of us don't like.
It says C-Toe, Terry-Toe. Call him up, he shows up.
Let's see, what else do we have? Any other questions from the crowd or online? Anybody have anything for Terry?
You're watching high school in Port Sulphur.
High school in Port Sulphur, straight out.
So you said in August, bull reds in the past.
Mhm.
Is there any certain way to, like, basically for the species? Is there any specific thing that the bigger of them species that prefer more than the little ones? Like, most of the time, your top water trout bite, you'll get the bigger trout. Is that the same across?
No, it's a little different. In August, most of the time, you're chasing schools of them. So, you know, it's kind of more of luck of the draw type of thing. You know, the bulls are there now. The size. Sometimes the bigger bait. Usually out there with a 6-inch gulp. Will attract a bigger fish, but it's not always a guaranteed. It just depends. If you get on a good school, most time they're all about the same length.
And what about like say bass or trout?
Bass. So I'm not that great at bass fishing. I'm okay. But I feel like bass. My bigger bass I've caught on most time pitching. Flipping structure and stuff like that. That's just what I like to do, bass fishing. And now most of my bigger bass, came off that style of fishing.
Any other questions? All right. Any last comments or anything for the group, Terry?
No, I guess, if all the members would buy you coach, you guys come fish the Massey Fish Pics, it's a great tournament to just do throughout the year, for even the novice anglers and, just the guys that like to fish on weekends. It's a good opportunity to win some prizes and, for a few bucks. So it's definitely worth the entry fee, of $5.50. And that's it.
Thanks, Terry. We get up to say a couple last words before we close out. If anybody else has any last questions or anything, feel free to ask out, post in the Facebook group. If anything comes up, just let us know. We'll do our best to take care of everybody. Want to really thank Massey's for allowing us to take over their upper story here. They have an awesome facility out here. Thanks for setting up. We had pizza, drinks, everything here. Appreciate everybody coming out. Everybody should sign up and fish Fish Pics. It's one of those awesome year-long tournaments where you can plan to fish the perfect weather because we know Bayou Coast tournaments, you're going to be fishing terrible weather, guaranteed, every single time. So you can pick and choose the weekends you want to fish. Always keep that identifier or card with you so you can interfish. Trust me, you never know when it could happen. So just let us know if y'all need anything, and we'll get the registration up and going. And we'll send that out to everybody, and we'll kick it off with Paddlepalooza coming up in just a couple weeks. Thanks, y'all.